What's up, everybody? In this video, I wanted to show you a different way that I leverage automations. And in this particular use case, we're going to be solving this bug that we are seeing at the moment. And by the way, it seems like other people have ran into a similar bug. But I wanted to show you how I'm thinking about solving this issue within like 5-10 minutes, leveraging automations. And obviously, you're not going to run into this bug by the time you see it, but by the end of this video, you will know how I leverage the Clay API to create client folders, automatically add tables, move tables to different folders. I use the exact same process, and so you can use it too, but you will also learn how to solve issues quickly without relying on support. And by the way, this is by no means a negative video because I love Clay. I think they're a great platform, and every platform, by the way, has bugs. So, you're not going to escape them. But this is just going to be like an extra skill that you can add in your tool belt. Okay, so the reason why I realized that we might be able to solve this issue via the API is because when I duplicated the original table, it worked just fine. And so this is actually only happening if we go to the normal table that we were just in. But any duplicated table, that one works just fine. And so we'll start from the beginning and I will show you how this works. So we will duplicate this over here. And this is going to work as we've previously mentioned. So what we're going to need to do at this point, we're going to need to inspect element to basically see the information that this specific table has. And so if we were to go back from this and then come back in this, it's going to tell us all of the information about this specific table. In particular, what I'm looking for is the different views that we've got. And so the table, and I'm looking for views. And so this is telling us about all of the different views. So fully enriched rows, non-enriched rows, all of this stuff. And so what I want to know is, because it works just fine if we were to duplicate the page, I wonder if we were to go into a different view for this table, if that would work. So over here, we've got GV. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to leverage this request URL over here, which is a get function, right? And then we're going to paste it in here. And so inside Clay, inside make, we're basically going to be logging into Clay. And so we use this URL over here. We use our email or password, and then this is going to output a Clay cookie that we can leverage. And then we leverage this cookie in this section over here to get the information, right? And normally you have to split it into two, one identifying yourself and then the other one with the actual cookie. But I've got all of this information inside the original header. But by the way, for reference, you would be finding that stuff inside the request header section over here. So we've got the cookie. Now we need to choose a method, and the method we're going to choose get. And the reason we're choosing get is because that is the method over here. And then there's nothing over here inside the request content, so we should be good. And then we simply just want to run it to see whether it works. And so if we were to click run once, at this point, we should see that it went through, it worked perfectly, right? And so when we click on the data, we're going to see all of the information related to that specific table. And again, we're looking for the specific view that is inside that table. Once we've done this, we're going to go back to this table. And before we do that, I want to see if we're still running into the error. And like, we're still doing that, right? So we're going to copy this table over here, and we're going to replace the table with this. And then the extracted data view ID is this. Okay, so this is just the original view, right? So this is the original view. we're going to put this here. So we've replaced the table and we've replaced the view with the one that's being running into errors. And then we're going to click run once again. And so at this point, it's running, it's doing its thing, and then it's going to return all of the views for that specific table, right? So these are all of the views related to the table that is having errors. And so now I want to try a few things. The first thing I want to try is I want to see whether it's going to work with different views. So if I click GV, is this table going to run into an error? It does. And so if I click on the next one over here, which is GV as well. So we'll do this for all of these. And if all of these run into an error, we're going to create a brand new view to see whether that fixes the issue. And by the way, this is only going to take us like the whole process over here. It's going to take us like 5-10 minutes. But you know, like with Clay, I've noticed that the support is a lot quicker. Oh, there you go. Errored rows in the one that was not working. That one works. So now we have access to that Clay table that was not working. And just to prove the fact, if we go into default view, it's going to run into the error again, right? And so as you're seeing, we're backtracking what is causing the error and then going to basically fix that. And so now I have access to this specific table. And so what I'm going to want to do, I'm probably going to want to duplicate. Actually, I have access to the table now. I don't really need anything extra. So can I just duplicate the view? And then remove all these filters. Okay, well, to make this video not extra boring, I'm gonna do some other stuff, right? I'm gonna show you how we can remove filters via the API. And so we're gonna inspect element over here, and then we are, by the way, we were not able to actually click on, like if we go to default view, right? It runs into an error, right? For a second, I thought, oh, is this fixed? It runs into an error. And so we were not actually able to quickly just like go into the error rows. And so leveraging the API, that's what allowed us to figure out a way to just juke our way into the error row section, which is going to allow us to troubleshoot this, right? And so at this point, we have the errored row, and I've copied the errored rows, right? And so at this point, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove the filters via the API just for show, just to show you guys like what it looks like. So we will do created at equal to today. Actually, let's do job title equal to KJ. We'll go to network. It's obviously added some stuff over here, and then we will go ahead and delete that. And so when we delete it, we're basically going to want to replicate what's over there. And so what is over there is nothing, right? So we're going to basically grab this request URL over here. I'm going to want to unlink this, clone this, and then we're going to want to switch the actual URL, right? So this is the URL with the table with the specific view. The view is copy of errored rows. And then we're going to want to patch it. And by the way, the reason we're doing a patch method. Wait, am I in the right one? Oh no, I'm not in the right one. Anyways, the reason we're doing a patch method is because that is what is over here. And then when looking at the payload, it's empty, so we don't need to do anything. And so at this point, we're going to want to do that same stuff, right? So we're going to want to copy the table, switch the table over here, and then we're going to also want to switch the view over here, right? Let's also rename this to just something cooler, like cooler cooler view. Anyways, okay, so we've got the cooler view, and we're going to basically delete all of the filters. And by the way, like this is the stuff like you can just like automate your entire workflows and everything, right? So at this point, all of the filters, 17 filters gone, right? And so 8,000 views is over here. Now we refresh the page, we should have 20,000 rows. And again, for reference, this is the same table that was running into an error, but now we're actually able to do things, and other people are still like waiting for support, and they're like, how do we fix this issue? I'm already working on my stuff. Like literally 5-10 minutes, right? I'm already working on my stuff. And so we're going to want to add the filter. So created at uh later than later than greater than today. So actually like greater than last night, essentially, right? Like 7 p.m. So we want to see like, okay, so it's that's what the issue is. Is that what the issue is? Cooler view? The issue is that specific filter. Okay, so we are getting closer to what we are dealing with. Um, and by the way, this is also pretty cool. So let's actually run this again. Let's reverse that filter that we've just created. And now it's working. So we've also just pinpointed, one, the problem is with the filter. So we don't want to filter in that way that we've previously filtered. And then other than that, everything seems to work. So, okay. So how do I do this then? Can I do created? Okay, so I'm going to do it a different way. So I'm going to sort with created at. I'm going to do 9 to 0. So it seems to be anything to do with the filter is what's causing us a problem. So anytime you change a filter, it runs into an error. Okay, so let's remove the filter again. And by the way, like we're being able to remove the filters via the API. So that's what makes this so powerful. Because I want to actually get the work done. All right, let's reverse. Let's do what we had previously done. And I want to see like if we can actually get a campaign running, right? Like that's going to be like the goal to be like, all right, we've got a campaign running in less time than these are the guys. Okay. So refresh the page over here. We should have a brand new row. Did I not oh, I have to just duplicate it manually because that works fine. All right, let's find. That's the other thing. I don't want to copy of errored rows. All right, we've got 1 minute left in this video, and then it goes to it ends. So let's try to get something here. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. All right, let's do this. We've removed all the filters. And so we're going to want to, so it seems like every single one that needs to run has already run. So let's just do run all rows that haven't run or have errors. And then maybe we'll regret it. Maybe we'll regret it. Let's see if we'll regret it. So is it going through my Clay credits at the moment? It's going through. It's doing its thing. These are queued? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Let's stop this. Let's stop this. I messed up. Stop updates. Okay. Anyways, it's working. I'm able to get this working. Obviously, now I have to spend a little bit more time refining it, but I hope this was at the very least useful for someone to learn a little bit more about like how to maneuver errors whenever you run into them. And I wish you're having a wonderful day. Cheers.